Indianapolis area employers are looking for real people to fill their positions. And beyond filling out an application, your resume is a powerful tool for opening doors to these job opportunities. Having a great resume can help a decision maker quickly determine if you are someone they would like to interview.
What stands out for me on a resume are several different things. First of all, the very first thing is how neat is the resume? How is the resume put together? We'll look to see if the individual has summarized their qualifications on the resume, and then also if they have completely listed all of their jobs that they've been employed at with the dates. The dates are very important on a resume, and if there's any gaps between jobs, if there's some type of explanation on the resume for me to understand what the individual was doing during that time frame.
The resume is very important because I'm not able to see skills or technical skills if I don't have anything to look at. And also, you need to be able to show a progression of work experience. So whether that is you've been at an employer for 6 months or a year, or what type of experience you have, the resume is important.
Whether you have an old resume that needs to be updated or are creating one for the first time, you can easily create a resume that grabs the attention of employers and makes a positive first impression of who you are. To create a resume that does this for you, it helps to understand just what real employers are looking for. There are several ways to structure and format a resume. We recommend using a combination format that makes it easy for employers to quickly see your qualifications at a glance. Plus, using this format makes it easy for you to create a marketable resume and customize it for different job opportunities. Let's break it down by each section. First, it is important to have your correct contact information. Use your given name, mailing address, best phone number to reach you, and a professional email address that includes your name. When responding to a job posting, customize your resume by using the same matching job title as listed in the job posting to identify yourself as a candidate who is seeking that specific position. For your general resume, use a general job title associated with the type of work you are pursuing. Your profile is a short paragraph summarizing your related experience and your work-related attributes. In short, it is telling the employer why you are a good fit for the job. Think about, why are you a good fit for this position or for this employer? What have you been recognized for by previous employers? What makes you a quality employee? Use short, concise, and powerful statements. Take the time to customize your profile each time you submit your resume for different opportunities. Employers want to quickly determine if you have the skills they are looking for. When responding to a job posting, search for the skills the employer is seeking and list your matching skills on your resume. For a general resume, list the general key skills you have related to the type of job you are pursuing.
When Spotfreight receives a resume, the things that we're looking for in our candidates are going to be their ability to deal with technology first and foremost, but then also their professionalism. Lots of people can be trained to do things, but attitude can't be taught, and most of the time professionalism can't be taught. They either have it or they don't.
The skills we're typically looking for on a resume are going to be the kinds of skills that will allow the individual to come in and do the specific tasks in their job without necessarily a lot of training, such as Microsoft Office, the Excel spreadsheets, or if it's a specific job in the marketing area, it might be the different graphics packages. So software for sure on the specific traits.
Employers want to know where you worked and when. Starting with your most recent job first, list the company name, city and state, dates worked including month and year, and your job title. Describe the scope of your job duties, starting each sentence with a verb or adverb, and include facts and numbers to help the employer grasp how much responsibility you have had. It is important to write short yet complete sentences, making it easy and inviting for an employer to quickly read your information and to know what job duties you have performed.
When I look at a person's work experience on a resume, there are several things that I like to see. First of all, I like to see the name and address of the previous company or employer that they worked at, the time frame that they worked at that particular employer, their job function or job title, and a quick summary of some of the job functions that they did at that job.
One of the first things you look for is whether or not they have consistency in their jobs in the past. If you see an individual has had 6 jobs in the last 2 years, then that's not a good sign, because we look for folks that have longevity. We're a bit of a family environment here, and so we're looking for folks that come here and plan to stay here and be a part of the team. So probably the most important, I would say, would be their job history as far as consistency. Then the second thing is probably just the overall appearance. To do a resume, they have to be able to write well or decently, and how they use grammar and just the typical construction of the resume. You also look at the specific data, but I'll tend to look more at how a person says something, whether it's writing or verbal, than exactly what they're saying.
A resume tells me about a candidate's work attributes, that they are detail-oriented, organized, and know how to prioritize the important information. If they can't do that on a resume, then they won't be able to do it in the job.
Above and beyond your actual work experience, employers want to know what you have accomplished and how you have made a difference for your previous employers. Adding your accomplishments to your resume can make a positive impact on an employer's decision to call you for an interview. These are bulleted statements that start with an action verb or adverb and tell how you have improved a process, reduced errors, or increased profitability, for example. Think about what you have been recognized for by your previous employers, or what positive outcomes resulted from you going above and beyond your normal work duties.
Types of accomplishments on a resume and the quantity are going to be those sorts of things that highlight what an individual has done and achieved, and not specifically so much the normal things like attending and completing high school or junior college or whatever, but the sorts of things that will separate you from the bulk of the rest of the people, the things that make you stand out beyond the crowd. And for numbers, I would suggest probably 3 to 5, no more than that.
If you are currently pursuing or have completed training or education, list the name of the training, certification, or degree, and the name of the school, city, and state. Include the month and year you completed it if it's recent.
We view education and certifications and training very heavily, specifically education, because we have a continuing education program here and believe that it never stops. So when we're looking at a person, whether it's on their resume or an in-person interview, we're looking for what they have completed in terms of education, but we're also looking for their openness and their desire to continue that education. Because if we bring a person in for one particular job, we're really always looking at them for the next level, so that we can gain from their knowledge and education, but they can also help themselves by advancement. And the only way you'll do that is through education and training.
If you have served in the military, you can add a section highlighting this experience just as you would for work experience. If you belong to a professional organization related to your career goal, or if you have performed community work as a volunteer, add these additional qualification highlights as separate sections on your resume.
When we have a candidate that I see first off has something like volunteer work in their history, or has done work with the military, or is a veteran, or some type of status like that, it's kind of like having a gold star on their resume. It shows me immediately that they have a commitment to the community outside of something that's just monetarily involved. They have inner drive, they have, as I said, commitment to their community and to something that's larger than themselves, and they'll probably have a great attitude when they're asked to contribute to a team-like environment.
As far as other information about an individual, it's critically important. Now, I probably couldn't emphasize enough that when you're looking at a resume, you're looking at just a bunch of information, and there will be a lot of people that come in for interviews. So we're looking again for those things that will separate the individual from the rest of those that are out there. So for instance, if you've been in the military service, well, off the bat, you're going to have an advantage because we have a great deal of gratitude for those that have served, but the military also gives great skills and training. So you're only going to help yourself if you can outline those particular skills that you've attained that separate you from the pack. And that's really what it's all about, is separating yourself from the other 20 or 30 folks that have come in for the interview.
First impressions are everything. You could have the best resume, but if there is an error in it, chances are you have not gained the positive perception you were hoping for. Your resume is your marketing tool, and just like any good marketing tool, it has to be easy to read, have section titles, include bullets, spacing, bolding, and capitalization to make it eye-appealing and draw attention to each area. Take the time to properly format and add enhancements. When finished, spell check and proofread several times to make sure it is error-free before sending it to an employer.
The way that I view a resume with spelling errors or incorrect formatting is that the individual has not taken time to really review it. I feel that a resume is a representation of the individual, and whatever they put forth in front of an employer is that representation that they're presenting.
That's it. Now let's do a quick review. First, structure your resume in a combination format that appeals to employers, making it easy to find important information quickly. Second, add information to each section and take the time to make sure it makes sense to anyone reading it. Third, customize your resume for each job opportunity by matching the job title and qualifications related to the job you are applying for. And finally, spell check and proofread your resume to ensure that it is error-free and consistently formatted. You are now equipped with everything you need to know to create a great resume. If you need additional information to get started, WorkOne has worksheets and resources available to help guide you. You can also work on creating your resume at one of the WorkOne computer labs or participate in one of the scheduled WorkOne resume labs and receive guidance while working on creating your resume. For additional job search related information, please view other WorkOne Customer Solutions videos to receive the most current and relevant information for real people like you.